What's up, guys? No Baby here, back again for another video. I'm trying to go every day and post videos. I can't post hair videos every day because that would require me to do my hair every day, which then my hair would lack the nutrients and not like soaking in and moisturization and all that. It would just go because I would be washing out all of the oil out of my hair every single day to redo it and stuff like that. And I don't even do my hair every day. Like today, I just woke up. Like yesterday, I did the twist out, and this is the first day, well, second day, but it's been slept on. I took it down yesterday because I went to this like little get together thingy with a couple of my friends, and so yeah, I just took it down yesterday. But today, I am going to be talking about the time. We're going to be telling a story time about the time that I got put out of a classroom. Um, I honestly did not care about getting put out of this classroom because it was a class that I hated. So this is my 7th grade year, and like I couldn't even tell you the month because me and this teacher, we always had problems. So like I could just get up and leave this class, but this special day was the first time that he actually kicked me out. It's like I could tell like spring or winter-ish, possibly, maybe even the fall. Like I don't remember, but like so one day, like, okay, me and this teacher, we never got along. He would just be like such a freaking nagger and just nag about everything. Like I hated him. I hated being in his class, and it was absolutely horrible. Um, so I'm like going into class this day, and honestly, whenever like I might have been coming on my menstrual, and whenever that's like the situation, anybody can just tick me off with the slightest thing. So like I already hate this man, like hate, and hate is a strong word, and I mean to use it. I don't like this guy at all, and so he's like, catch me on one of those days where it's about that time, and it's just, it's not pretty, and so he probably started like we probably started. I'm just coming in with a bad attitude. Like that's never a good way to go into a situation. But me, I know myself. I probably did come in with a bad attitude. And then him like trying to, oh well, you can't do this, you can't do that, no, no, this, that. Like end of discussion. I don't care. Like I'm gonna go off on you. And that was probably the situation that happened. But I was in history, and mind you guys, this is world history. In 7th grade, most of my grades were like B's and above, A's and B's, and I had a 1C. Like my entire report card will always be A's and B's and 1C. And the 1C was in my history class because like me and all my friends, none of us understood the stuff. And like it's like one of those things where the teacher talks and doesn't teach, and it's like they're not making you really understand it. And it's like one day there's this substitute that like made more sense than the actual teacher, and she was a substitute. Like she took like today's comparisons and put that into the lesson, like incorporated that into a lesson versus how he tried to keep it old school, and it wasn't working. Like everyone learns in different ways, and like my principal, he would always tell me whenever I would go to him about the teacher, he'd be like, oh well, that's just life, we're gonna have to deal with people like that, you're gonna have to work with people like that. He's like, there might be some people in this building that I'm not so fond of, but I still have to work with them. I was like, yeah, you're right. And he was like, so just go in with a better outlook or whatever. And me and my principal, like, we were cool. And so he was like, yeah, just go in with a better head or whatever and just take your time. I know that he could be frustrating for you sometimes, but every day everybody has a different thing going on. Like you never know what he might have going on. I was like, okay, but like honestly, I didn't care what he had going on because he was just the butthole that like I honestly don't have any soft spot for him in my heart at all. Like it's just one of those things where I'm just like cutthroat. I don't care how you're feeling because I hate you. But this day I was going into class, and we were doing maybe like a read out loud, maybe like a popcorn type of thing, reading a book. So like in his class we would like do stuff from the book or whatever, and then have like these little papers where we would have to go and use the textbook, the online textbook, and then go and what's this stuff called? Find the answers or whatever, and it's like they weren't word for word, and sometimes they weren't word for word, and sometimes they weren't in chronological order, and like I just didn't understand it because you're talking about a whole new area of the world, and then it's like on top of it being a different place in the world, it's like what do you call it? Like all these new people, new names, new areas, like everything's new. It's world history versus American history. Like American history, I've grown up in America, and like this is my first ever world history class ever in life, and it's like I don't know any of this stuff, so it's like an introduction pretty much, but like the person that's giving the introduction sucks. And it's like another thing, like it's kind of, I think it's scientifically proven that if a child doesn't like the teacher, that they're like not as much as like they don't have as much success in that class if they don't really feel close to the teacher, like building that bond, whatever, to where you trust your teacher like on a good, okay level, versus like you hating your teacher, you're probably gonna not do good in the class. But like that's what the situation was, and so I'm in class or whatever, we're doing the read aloud, and at this at this time, like the people that were like at the table, like you know how like desk guards, so like they had like the desk of the chair separated. No, actually, yep, this was after he got in the middle of the school year. He got new chairs and whatever, and so this was like after when he got his chairs, like new chairs and stuff. And so like they were like in like the little pods, and so there was me and 3 other people. There was another girl and 2 boys, and like no, there was 1 boy, and we were like just like best friends, and like we would always just chit chat or whatever. And this special day, the teacher finally decided to say something, and it's like most of the time I crack jokes like underground super quietly, but it's like I was just like mumbling over like this, and he knew that I was talking, and so he was like, he called me out for it or something like that, and I was like, okay, well. And so I just kept on making remarks, and he just kept on calling me out on me. He was like, you know what, get out. I was like, okay, fine by me. I grabbed all my stuff and I walked out of his classroom. He was like, you know what, you sit here and wait for my principal. He's like, you sit here and wait for your principal to come back or whatever, and he's gonna talk to you because your behavior in my class is not acceptable. I don't care, you know, it's not acceptable. You cannot do this every day, disrupting the classroom learning and progressing, and no one gets anything done because you always wanna. And I'm not even that type of person. Like, I'm not the class clown, but like in this class, I was the class clown because I hated him. So like any chance that I got, I would take low blows, and he just took me there that day. And so I sit there and I was like, you know what? I was like, because I low-key got mad because like when he walked me, because there's like this big hallway, so when he walked me to like down the hallway or whatever to my principal's office, and I was sitting there because we have grade principal, we have a head principal. I was supposed to go to my grade principal because my grade principal, I had already been going to him about this teacher. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, he already know how I feel about you, so you ain't hurting me. You ain't making me feel no type of way. I was like, I'm not going to get a detention for it. Okay, so midway through editing this video, I realized that I bring up the fact about him not giving me, about him like giving me a detention. And I thought about it, and this man actually gave me a detention for not having colored pencils. He gave like 25 kids detentions for not having supplies. Like, and then he's like, okay, well, I'm having this detention so that all of you can come over here and like I can help you guys and I can buy it for you if you don't have it or whatever, and like I'll help you out, I'll help you get the stuff. It's like, because I'm tired of people coming to my class unprepared. But it's like, we just don't like you, so we don't bring nothing to your class pretty much. But like, I had 3 color pencils instead of 4, and he gave me a lunch detention. So I'm sitting here like, make it make sense. And so he ended up getting in trouble though, I think, for making people get those detentions. But like, that just goes to show how petty this man was. Okay, back to the, whether you give it to me, I can still get out of it. Like, I don't care. And I think I ended up leaving the spot, and he tried to bring me a textbook. Like, he went back across the hall to his room and brought me a textbook back to the office or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm not finna do this work. I'll see you later. That textbook can stay there. I'll go to my counselor and I'll see you later, because I guess my principal was in a meeting. So I ended up going to my grade level counselor, and like I ended up explaining to her, because like at this point I was heated because he just annoys me that much. And so I'm like explaining to my counselor, I'm like, okay, you know, I don't like this guy, I've never come to you about him, but for me specifically this day. And I'm like, you know what, I don't care, cool. And so like he just wants me to get such a big reaction. I was like, okay, you want to make it a big deal, I'll make it a big deal if that's what you really want. And I'm like, sir, you don't want me to make it a big deal, because if I make it a big deal, hell's gonna break loose pretty much. But he just, I don't know, I got a deep place in my heart just hates that man, because he's so freaking annoying. And it's just like, I never liked him. I never did. And if he ever sees this video, that's honestly how I feel about you. And I'm pretty sure you knew that, because I'm pretty sure that you hated me too, because yeah, I'm sure that you hated me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And yeah, if you have a teacher like that, I bless your heart. Just try your best to keep focus on your grades and getting there, because honestly, like, even like also in that class, like there would be the pettiest points that he would take off of assignments. Like, okay, I emailed you and told you that I didn't understand it, you didn't respond to my email, and then it's like I come to class and you take off my points for my assignment. Like, what? Make it make sense, sis, because I don't understand it. And if I don't understand it, you can't force me to understand it. It's not just going to happen if I'm not understanding it. It takes time for me to understand something if it's not clicking. And so it was just one of those things. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Please like this video. And if you are new here, please subscribe. Just subscribe and join me in this journey. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.